Hello there. This is where the fun begins.
Hey there guys, Unofficial Star Wars here, hope you're all doing well, and in this video we're going to be talking about Rian Johnson and his Star Wars trilogy as it receives a promising development update. That's right, it's still potentially and possibly in development and still happening. So without further ado, we're going to hop right on into it. This video, I'm going to be taking a read from the direct article. I'm going to have the therefore article linked down in the description down below for you guys to check out as well. As it reads, almost no name in Star Wars history has been the subject of a wider range of reviews than Rian Johnson, and at that, controversy, who famously served as the director of 2017's Episode 8, The Last Jedi, with the inconsistencies between his work and that of J.J. Abrams of The Force Awakens and later of The Rise of Skywalker, who did the movies before and after that. The sequel trilogy was left largely discombobulated and jumbled as the two directors' visions were mixed with one another. Even with so much controversy surrounding The Last Jedi, however, Johnson remains a consistent topic amongst the Star Wars fandom, especially with no big screen movies on the way for the foreseeable future. Lucasfilm is a particularly saw promise in this work on the 2017 movie, which will gross over $1.3 billion at the box office, and at the end of the day. And there are many who want to see him come back for another intergalactic story, something where he has full creative control even at that. At one point in time, there were serious talks about Rian Johnson helming his own Star Wars trilogy, although those plans have at least been pushed back for the foreseeable future, and a dozen times at that as well. But in a recent chat with Rian Johnson, he revealed that he is still dying to return to a galaxy far, far away in the not too distant future. So Rian Johnson still wants to come back. In a recent interview with Empire, Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi director Rian Johnson confirmed that he still wants to come back for more projects with Lucasfilm and for Star Wars, confirming that he's remained close with Lucasfilm President Kathleen Kennedy. Johnson also admitted that it was all comes down to is scheduling the work and making it happen at that. The director even made it clear that it would break his heart if he couldn't come back to this universe at some point in time in his career. In that full quote, he says that I stayed close to Kathleen and we get often together and talk about it. It's just at this point a matter of schedule and when it can happen. It would break my heart if I were finished, if I couldn't get back into that sandbox at some point. Reading the quote right there. It's honestly insane to think about that we're this close to this potential Star Wars trilogy actually happening, and that it really just comes down to a matter of scheduling and when can we work this out type of thing, kind of foreseeing that he has something written out for this trilogy on what he wants it to be about, especially if he were to have full creative control and directing power and writing power at that as well at the same time for all three of these movies. I think it would be a wonderful combination, and I think it would turn out beautifully, and I think this applies for a lot of other Star Wars fans agree on that same topic, while other people solely base and judge him completely off of The Last Jedi and that quote-unquote disaster. In my own thoughts and opinions, that was not the worst Star Wars sequel movie, and rather it was The Rise of Skywalker, if for anything. At that, The Last Jedi really wasn't that bad. However, I'll talk a little bit more about that towards the end of the video here today. However, just the whole idea of that we're this close to this Star Wars trilogy actually happening, and it boils down to a point of, hey, when can we work this out and when can it actually be scheduled, is honestly, I think, on Lucasfilm's part. I think that they're kind of waiting out the whole movie hiatus type of thing. This is something that Kathleen Kennedy has confirmed in past and previous interviews in the recent, saying that they're taking a break from Star Wars movies, hence why we have so many Star Wars Disney Plus shows currently as of right now. The article continues to talk about how Kathleen Kennedy had similar comments to offer during Star Wars Celebration back in May 2022, this year, noting how everybody is so genuinely busy and working on other things, particularly with Rian Johnson's success on 2019's Knives Out. She confirms that plans for his return would be anywhere from 3 to 5 years from now, but that the team loves him and wants him to return even at that. And that full quote of what she has to say, now everybody's so busy, genuinely busy and working on things. Rian Johnson had such a gigantic success with 2019's Knives Out that he's very committed to try to get that done. So it'll be a while. And we have to work 3 to 5 years in advance on what we're actually doing. So that's where it's at and that's where it sits. But we love him. Ending the quote right there. Rian Johnson was confirmed in 2017, back when The Last Jedi released, to be developing his own Star Wars trilogy, which is still in the works at that, but has been held up due to the director's focus on his two Knives Out sequels on Netflix, the first of which, Glass Onion, will be released this December, and then from there he'll be working on the final one, and then from there I think his schedule will be pretty cleared up for him to solely be focusing here on a galaxy far, far away. So will Rian Johnson's sequel trilogy happen here? Well, I really wouldn't in that kind of sort of sense call it a sequel trilogy, and if for anything, maybe potentially a prequel trilogy at that. A lot of people want him to actually direct some type of Old Republic or High Republic at that type of trilogy here, taking place thousands and thousands of years before the Phantom Menace and the Skywalker saga, which could be and turn out so very cool and be really great. Taking a read from what the direct has to say about it, even with The Last Jedi being officially classified by the United States Federal Court as a metacore movie, some of Rian Johnson's decisions with the film clearly stuck with Lucasfilm, as the two parties have developed a strong relationship with one and another. The director will still looks back fondly at his time making the movie, and those quotes only confirm how invested he is in the universe as a whole. Now, he recently did take a step back to reflect on the whole Last Jedi making experience. It's something I haven't covered here on the channel quite yet, so hit the subscribe button and stay tuned for that. Kathleen Kennedy also recently confirmed in May 2022 at Star Wars Celebration that Rian Johnson's trilogy had moved to the back burner, although she made it clear that Lucasfilm still has every intention of making it actually happen. The director has found incredible success with his work on Knives Out, which is already set for a sequel, and Kennedy also noted how far in advance the Star Wars story is planned out as well. Recently, Rian Johnson even confirmed that he still soon revisits his work from The Last Jedi, which might even lead to more discussion about his trilogy he had planned out before it got delayed multiple times. But regardless of when it happens, it's clear that Lucasfilm has every intention to bring Rian Johnson back for more intergalactic action. There is where the article ends. As I had mentioned at the beginning of this video, I have that full article linked down in the description down below. I definitely believe in second chances. Rian Johnson definitely deserves that opportunity. He seems like a true Star Wars lover and a Star Wars fan at that, just like you and I, of wanting to do something better for the Star Wars franchise, even at that with having his own Star Wars trilogy. He's even in the previous and in the past kind of poked at the idea of maybe directing one of the Mandalorian episodes. I think would be a great way for him to kind of dip his toes back into the Star Wars franchise and into the Star Wars community. Must I remind you, directing and writing is not the same thing. Simply having him direct around and just working on set at that with one of the episodes of The Mandalorian, because all of The Mandalorian is written by both Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau, he wouldn't have any interference or any say, really, so to speak, on what happens with the actual writing of the story with The Mandalorian. So I definitely think he should start there, if for anything, and have that chance and opportunity. And from there, this seems like a very, very set in stone and promising update, officially coming from President Kathleen Kennedy at Lucasfilm, talking about how it's still planned out a good 3 to 5 years from now, which is honestly going to fly by just like that, honestly, at the blink of an eye, with all the other cool Star Wars content that we've been getting on Disney Plus, with the whole Mandoverse and everything going on with there, and other Star Wars spin-off shows. Maybe potential Obi-Wan Kenobi Season 2, or more of Andor of Season 2 for that show has also been confirmed. I quite honestly think we have plenty to look forward to with the Star Wars franchise here as a whole, and it's going to keep us busy for quite some time, so it will only be a matter of time until we see Rian Johnson's trilogy. Honestly, I'm at a point as a Star Wars fan of where I would rather see Rian Johnson's trilogy more than any other random trilogy out there. I would absolutely love to see what he has in store, and as I had kind of also briefly mentioned towards the beginning of this video, of how a lot of Star Wars fans out there, myself included, want him to direct something High Republic or Old Republic, something that takes place way before the Skywalker saga and the Phantom Menace. So with that all being said, let me know of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. I'd absolutely love to hear what you guys all think. Do you guys want to see Rian Johnson return for a galaxy far, far away? And if so, what do you want to see with his Star Wars trilogy? And do you think it's a good idea to have him let that have that opportunity and that second chance to simply direct and help around and be on set of one of the episodes of The Mandalorian? Let me know of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. I'd absolutely love to hear what you guys all think. Leave a like on the video if you did enjoy it, as it really does help the channel, and check out Instagram on official Star Wars for more Star Wars related content, guys. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Have a great one, guys. May the Force be with you as always. Peace out.